talking about how we struggled playing on the road last year in bad weather against the Jets and the Chiefs. We really made a big deal out of it. We kind of enjoyed it. I think our guys look forward to the challenge of the weather more than anything. And we ran the ball a lot of different ways, from a single back set, from a two-back set, double tight end set. Derek Carr even got involved. But it was a great job of protecting the football and running the ball and possessing the ball, which was a key ingredient in winning.
John, how big an impact was the wind just on the way the game was played today?
Well, you can't imagine it. I can't explain it. You thought when you were going one direction, you were with the wind, and then maybe you were against the wind. But the wind was against everybody, Cleveland and Las Vegas, all day today. Credit to Carlson for being able to kick the ball and make some field goals. I thought Derek threw the ball intermediately pretty good, but it was a real obstacle for the kickers and the quarterbacks for sure.
John, you had to adjust your offensive line on the fly. When they responded today, can you talk about Brandon Parker coming in, kind of holding down the fort, and how the offensive line played in general today?
Brandon Parker woke up today. He was inactive. He was not going to be active. Trent Brown was the right tackle. Sam Young was the swing tackle. And Brandon Parker was eating breakfast thinking he was inactive. And then, wouldn't you know, he's pressed into service early in the game. And we're fortunate to have him. And you got to give the offensive line and Tom Cable and Greg Olson a great amount of credit. What they've been through the last 2 weeks is incomprehensible. But I think football people understand what we've been through up front in the last couple ball games is it's bizarre.
John, Jacobs got 31 carries today for about 128 yards. Early this season, you compared this game to a Walter Payton kind of style of game. After having that many carries in such a terrible weather inclements, would you just say that your impression of Jacobs is even higher than what you already thought?
Well, I shouldn't have said that because you remember it. That puts a lot of pressure on people. But that's what I remember growing up as a kid. I remember horrible weather. And I remember everybody in the stadium knowing that 34 was going to get the ball, and he made yards and got it done anyhow. And that's what Jacobs, his level of talent is. He's a great runner. And we just need him to break one long one, I think, to satisfy a lot of the statisticians. But that was an impressive performance by he and Booker today.
On that third quarter drive that you ended up getting a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but I think you held it for like 9 minutes, got the touchdown. Can you talk about the importance of putting together a drive like that in these kind of conditions?
It's obvious. We had back-to-back drives. We didn't knock it in from the 1 yard line, or we would have had, 2 15, 16 play drives in a row. But it's a credit to the quarterback for being able to recognize some things and get us in the right play. And the guys up front, you got to really tip your hat to them. And I don't want to underscore how important our defense was today. We made some changes, and they responded beautifully, and it was a big win for us.
John, you mentioned that you got up this morning thinking that Trent Brown was going to be starting at right tackle. Do we have any more clarity on exactly what happened with him?
No, we're just going to say that he got ill here in the locker room, and he's being evaluated right now. And we'll update you as soon as we know something, but I'm told everything is okay. We were expecting Trent to play today. He had a great practice on Friday, and we'll update you when we know something more extensive.
John, you obviously like the results on the defense. Coming in, though, with all the changes you had, what did you want to see? What specifically were you looking for that you saw and you wanted to see from the defense?
Well, turnovers. We got the early turnover. We wanted to be able to get more hats to the ball, knock out the big plays. We can't keep giving up big plays. Eliminate the big plays, certainly, and try to create some turnovers. Those were priorities. And really just start playing more consistently. And that's what we're after here. We still have a long way to go. We're hoping Damon Arnett can return soon. But we did make some strides today. I thought we had a lot of contributors. We didn't have as many mental errors. We just got to stay on sides. The 3 offsides in the first quarter were ridiculous. But after that, I think we settled down and played okay.
John, what did you think of Marcus Joyner that last drive?
Well, I'm glad he has a good vertical. That was a touchdown. He got up and made a great play to deflect that pass. They were in an empty backfield set. We were in a 3-man rush, and Joyner really timed that jump perfectly, and fortunately for us, he made that play.
John, in terms of in terms of running the game and field managing and such, was that one of Derek's better games?
Yeah, it really was. Statistically, probably not, but I thought he had a touchdown called back. I thought that was a touchdown in the end zone earlier in the first half. But I thought he played a really good game, and we went back in time a little bit to an old school attack, and that's something that we've been trying to put together here, the ingredients to allow us to play 3 receiver sets, and then when we have to, we can get into some old school double tight end sets and run the ball like teams used to in this league. And I'm really proud of the job that our guys did responding to our third tackle plan there in the first quarter.
And how important are those runs by Derek Carr? He had over 40 yards rushing, but all of them seem to get key first downs, remove the chains. How important are those runs?
Well, that's what we've all been, asking for. We've all been saying, hey, extend a couple plays. Come on, why don't you extend a couple plays? And today he extended a couple plays, and those were, I think, the plays that were the secret sauce in the win today. And one was a second and long call. Believe it or not, we ran a zone read, and he kept it and got a key first down. And I'm really proud of Derek. It's unfortunate you guys don't get to see him every day with his teammates because of this virus, but he's showcased a lot of leadership and poise for us during this tough time.
Let's do 2 more, guys.
John, when you're talking about Derek, you talk about an old school attack. You see a play where he lowers his shoulder and lowers the boom. Do you attaboy him when he comes off the field, or you say, hey, don't forget to slide?
No, I don't say attaboy. I say, are you out of your mind? Don't get carried away. But he's a great competitor. I'm just proud that he's finding all kind of ways to move the team. We've had receivers come and go. We've had linemen come and go. But, he's hung in there, and he's finding ways to move the team. And we're 4-3. We got to get ready for the Chargers. And I don't know if we're going to get out of here tonight. It is really windy here.
John, all things being considered, do you like these 16-6 scores, or do you like the ones that are up in the 30, more offense? Because they always say how you just like that grind and that sort of game. But do you like this
hey,
game?
all the people back in Las Vegas, we haven't seen a drop of rain in 193 days. And it was raining here, it was snowing here, it was hailing here, all 3 in the same day, and it was 38 to 45 mile-an-hour winds. So we'll take any win we can get. We're just excited to get on the plane together and head home to Vegas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
My bad.
Question?
Hey, Josh, I know you'll take it any way you can when you win the ball game, but to have as big an impact as you did in this game, especially under these conditions, how good does that feel out there today?
I think it's about time we had a run game like that. We finished with like 200 yards as a team, so it just feels good to be that dominant.
Josh, can you talk about the weather on hockey a lot? You guys use it as motivation and try to make those elements?
I couldn't hear you, bro.
Can you talk about the weather? And John talked about the weather.
Yeah. So the weather, to me it felt good. It reminded me of growing up playing football in Oklahoma. You get weather like that. So I was good. I came out early, walked around the field. Me and Alec walked around the field, and I was like, yeah, I'm good for it. So when we came out and it started raining, it just made the game more fun because I knew we was going to run the ball.
Hey, Josh, how frustrating?
You guys have been short-handed a lot up front this season, but you guys lose a couple guys, on the offensive line again today. What do you have to say just about their effort overall in this game?
Man, like I say every week, them guys, I see the way that they work. I see the way that they prepare. I knew it was just a matter of time before we get to cooking on all cylinders, and we just happened to do that this week.
Josh, can you talk about that goal line stand by the Browns? Looks like you were right down there, had a couple of shots at it. You couldn't get it in.
Yeah, that's my fault. I feel like always when we on the goal line, it's all about the running. I don't care if it's a free hit or anything like that. So I told them guys it's on me, and try to come back out this next week and improve on it.
Josh, you talked on Wednesday, I think, about saying you were embarrassed about the way the game went last week against Tampa. What would it feel like to be able to put together a game like this after that one?
It just feels good knowing that coming in after last week, and I feel like I said, it was embarrassing to me. I feel like I underperformed. And just being able to get that opportunity again this week and coming out here and making the best out of every play, it feels good.
Josh, what can you say about the way Derek handled the game, handled the conditions, worked the clock, just the field generalship that he showed?
Man, everybody in the offense had full like confidence in DC, whether it's in his audibles or him throwing the ball. So we knew coming in that the statistics and things like that. Coach talked about how we need to be better in tough environments and especially weather games, cold weather games and things like that. So just to see us come out and perform, it was huge.
Josh, you guys had a couple of long drives in that second half where you basically just pushed people around and ran for tough yards. How fun is that to play in that kind of offense?
It's fun. I think we had, like a 13, 15-play drive. And, I mean, that just shows that our dominance. That shows that we was running the ball very physical. And, I mean, I feel like that's our style of play. I know that's my style of play. I know that's our mentality as an offensive running back room in the offensive line. So just to be able to showcase that this week is huge. We try to come out next week and duplicate it and improve a little bit.
Josh, as a running back. There was one play in the first half I noticed you got tackled by your old teammate, Mac Wilson. You kind of gave each other love. How is it kind of playing against your old Alabama teammates and going up against them?
It'd be funny to me because I'm used to going against them like at practice in college, and just to see I watched them play when I was the whole time in college and things like that. I still keep up with them, so just to go against them, I'll be like, look, I want the bragging rights. So when we all link up in the off season, I'm like, I could talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's been fun.
Hey Josh, as a running back, when you see your quarterback take off on that option and he's nothing but green in front of him, I mean, what's going through your mind?
Slide. Hey, that's what I'll be thinking. I'm like, please don't take a hit. But it's good to see him that he's comfortable, man. I mean, he's looked better every week, and just to see him comfortable and that he trusts that when the play breaks down that he can use his feet, it's been huge.
Guys, all set? All right, thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, questions for Hunter?
Hey Hunter, what was the key to your guys' long sustained drives that you had there throughout the game?
I think our offensive line did a great job of moving the ball. I think whenever Jason Witten came over early to us, especially as receiver, and said, look, this could be a 7-possession game. We might only get the ball 7 times, so we're going to need to sustain those drives, hit those third downs, and keep the chains moving. And I thought offensive line did an amazing job all day. Coming into halftime, it looked like they were just in a battle, and they did a fantastic job, and to be able to finish the way they did was impressive.
Hunter, these type of games where they have these long sustained drives, a lot of short passes and runs and stuff, is this the kind of game that you prefer, would you say?
Whatever it takes to win, that's what we prefer. I don't know if that necessarily answers your question, but it's different every week. And this week, the defense did such a great job of getting the ball and not letting them score. And we were just able to capitalize on it. But to answer your question, yeah, every week is different. And if we need to go score 50, we need to be able to score 50. And great job by the defense today to stop them.
Hunter, were you confident they were going to uphold that touchdown?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I got my hands underneath it, and it turned a little bit at the end, but I thought I caught it initially, and the ground kind of made it shake a little bit. So it was a touchdown, and it was good times.
Hunter, you had some, I'm sure, some weather growing up. Can you talk about playing in it today, and if you like that kind of weather?
I'm from the beach, so I didn't. That was more winds than a hurricane, it seemed like. It was coming in sideways and backwards and forward, and you had to kind of gauge which side of the field you wanted to take shots on. And yeah, I've never been around something like that, but I think this team did a great job of coming in early in warm-ups and in pregame of just setting the tempo. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun today, and we're not gonna let the weather kind of dictate how we play. We're gonna go out there and have a blast, and thankfully we won.
Hey Hunter, do you get the sense that Coach Gruden enjoys his kind of old school games?
Yeah, he kind of likes the very efficient games where but he also likes to score at the same time. So it's kind of a catch-22 for him because he does like to grind out, kind of go get points when you can, field goals, but he also likes to score points. So it's he likes to win as well.
Is that it, guys?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
All right, go ahead with questions.
Daniel, just the wind for was it like kicking the first one?
Yeah.
First try, it went all sorts of directions.
Yeah, pregame it wasn't quite as windy, so had a really good pregame, trying to figure it out, and then we got out there. I really aimed at that, basically the right upright. I mean, that was by far the windiest game I've ever played in. I think most of this team's ever played in. And so just aimed at the right upright, hit it, basically an A-plus ball, exactly how I wanted to. Just didn't, factor in that wind quite enough. And so luckily able to learn from it and bounce back and, have a good operation, good holds, good protection, and get some points on the board the rest of the game.
Anything else?
Was it better in the opposite direction of the one that you missed?
Yeah, absolutely. So that late kick for them going that way, that dog pound in was really really tough. So just I would say whatever 30-mile-an-hour winds, whatever it was, and doing the best with the operation. That snap and hold, that's tough when it's cold, when it's raining, when it's sleeting, when it's hailing, whatever it was. Those guys did a great job just giving me opportunities to, get the ball down and put it through.
Hey, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
They showed you and the Cleveland kicker on television kind of talking. Was he giving you some pointers? You giving him pointers? You guys both discussing the weather? Or?
Yeah. So me and Cody, we played at Auburn together. I redshirted his final year at Auburn. I was asking him a little bit about the wind pregame, and he said he's never seen any wind like that. So, he was giving me some pointers to the best of his ability, and we were just kind of talking through what we were thinking with the wind. So just trying to figure it out as quickly as we could and do our best.
Anything else?
Yeah, Daniel, as opponents, were you surprised that he was giving you a scouting report, or did you think he should have just kept his mouth shut and let you experience it on your own?
I think some guys do, but I'm going to figure it out either way. So I think most specialists around the league are pretty friendly. We most of us kind of know each other, whether it's from different camps or just training throughout the years or playing against each other. So, it was pretty obvious that one end was extremely windy, extremely tough, and we got to try and take advantage of it. So, learned some lessons today, but I felt like I hit that first one pretty well. Just got to play that wind a little better next time.
All right. Thanks, Daniel.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right, go ahead with questions.
Nick, as a kid who grew up in Pittsburgh, I can imagine you probably played in conditions like this before. And how fun was it to watch your offense do what they did with the run game, but then also your defense being able to come up with the necessary stops and play a big physical game like you guys did?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to play, countless games in this type of weather. They're fun games, but weather definitely plays a factor, and game plans, and it comes down to, being tough, stop and run, getting the ball out, things like that. So, definitely a fun one.
Nick, the coaches said all week that they were going to make some changes to the defense. What changes worked out there for you guys to play more efficiently?
There was a lot of different small tweaks here and there. It's hard to just, pinpoint one. We did a lot of different stuff throughout the game. So got to go back and watch film to really, answer that question. But, after that, we'll watch the film, and kind of carry what we did well in the next game, correct what we did wrong, and going from there.
Nick, how big was LaMarcus Joyner for you guys on that last drive for the Browns?
Oh, he's huge. He's a guy, the whole game, he makes plays. He's a physical presence out there playing nickel. Making plays in the run game, pass game. He's huge there on the field.
You guys hadn't played a game where you gave up less than less than 24, and then to go out there and do 6 today. I know the weather was a factor, but you guys also played pretty well. I mean, how have you guys managed to hold it together?
Kind of what I said before, taking things from previous games that we've, made mistakes, and taking the good things we did and carrying them on, building each week in practice, emphasizing, different things, turnovers or, the run game each week. Just kind of putting those emphases week by week and building on the good things.
You get the sense that Coach Gruden enjoys these kind of games, he's kind of grinded out tough games?
Yeah. I mean, he kind of preaches us, finishing. And, I mean, that's kind of what this game was. The weather played a factor. I mean, it was just a lot of run, downhill runs, boots, things like that. I mean, it's a grind.
Anything else?
Nick, how much was their focus on trying to force turnovers and cause turnovers, and how big was that for your defense to get one there?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an emphasis for us every week. I'm sure it's across the league defense. I mean, you look at it, turnover battles, win games. But for us to get a turnover early in the game, it's huge, giving our offense an opportunity. Getting off the field. During that time, they were moving down the field. So anytime we can get off the field, give our offense an opportunity, it's huge.
What did you see that for?
The weather conditions and everything notwithstanding, did you come out of last week kind of with, I guess, a chip on your shoulder, still like you had something to prove after what happened against the Buccaneers?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things like take a loss, correct the things, and move on. I mean, you can't really harp on losses or wins. You got a game the following week, so you just got to take the film and move on.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Nick, how big of an impact does John Abram make, not only when he's on the field in the secondary as an intimidating presence, but today as a pass rusher?
Yeah, he's a guy who does it all. On and off the field, he's a leader, he's vocal. But when he comes down making plays in the run game, I mean, it's huge for us as linebackers with that help. And then also in the pass rush, he gets an opportunity. He loves the blitz. Anytime you can get him on a quarterback, I mean, it's great.
Nick, going back to that fumble, what did you see on that play?
It was a tight end screen. Really, I mean, I was kind of in a trail position. I had an opportunity to just swipe at the ball, and I tried to get it. I had no idea that it popped out until after the play.
All right, thanks, Nick. We got Derek Carr here.
All right.
Questions, guys?
Derek, obviously you'll take a win any way you can get it, but I mean, what would you say you enjoy more? I mean, you've had 3 games in which you guys scored over 30 points, and you come into this one and you have a grinded out game in which you score 16. Which would you say that you come out thinking it was like you feel better coming out of it? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously our goal is to score points, but the way we did this one today, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of. Maybe I'm sick, but it was kind of fun. Mr. Mayock texted me this morning, and he said, like he always does, your job is to find a way to win. Because when we woke up, that wind was howling, And he said, nobody, we both said, nobody cares. Find a way to win, however it takes. And so we found a way to win. And whenever you're able to do it the way that we did it, everyone has to deal with the conditions, but a team coming from Las Vegas, the desert, a team that, comes from the West Coast, came out here into the cold weather, terrible weather, and all that, and get a win, that's a good feeling, especially on the road.
Derek, when you're able to show that you could win in these conditions, in the dry conditions, in domes, outdoors, all that, how much confidence does that create in your team, knowing that you can go anywhere and win a game?
Well, if we're being honest, I mean, y'all know the stats. I mean, we haven't been able to do that, in a long time. Not just in my 7 years, but I remember when I was a rookie and I showed up here. Everyone talked about we can't win when we go to the East Coast or in cold weather and stuff like that. I remember all that my rookie year, and so it's been around for a while. And so the confidence it gives us, it gives us confidence because, Mr. Mayock and Gruden have brought in the right kind of people, that can find a way to win. I've been in some locker rooms, just being honest, with some guys before, and, it gets a little cold or, it gets a little, windy or rainy, and the look in their eyes is a little bit different. But today I felt like in pregame, in the locker room, and as we took the field, I felt like there was nothing stopping us today because everyone's energy and juice. I mean, we're just going to have fun. That's what we're here to do. I've been to the Pro Bowl. I've gotten paid money and things like that. I don't care about that stuff. I really don't. I want to win football games, and that's why I give it everything that I have. And so, whenever we can win a game like this, it makes me pumped. Especially with the way we had to grind it out.
Derek, you didn't have you thought you had Trent Brown, and then you didn't have him, and then you didn't have Sam Young, and Brandon Parker goes in, and Gruden said he woke up this morning thinking he was going to be inactive. But what can you say about the way that line has played? I mean, it's last week to this week, all the things they've endured, and to sort of take that game over today.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, right? I tell you what, Jerry, and some of you guys have been around here a while, we could write a pretty good book in just my 7 years here. You know what I'm saying? There's been some crazy stuff that has happened, and today was another one of those things. Honestly, I'm human. I got a little scared for Trent. I was like, man, I hope he's okay. Like, we had no clue what was happening. All of a sudden we come in and they're wheeling him out, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like it was crazy. And so we prayed as a team. We prayed for him. We made sure he was okay, his family, because I'm sure they were scared to death. But then you have to compartmentalize what just happened with we have to go win a football game in the worst weather I've ever played in my life. And so really proud of our offensive line. I mean, again, Jerry, I wish I could talk about them for 30 minutes. I'm just proud of those guys and what Coach Cable and Austin are able to prepare those guys for anything in every situation. And it's pretty unbelievable what they're able to do, man. It shows that we have good football character.
Derek, the one early talking about making sure.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Levi. Sorry.
I was just saying earlier this week we were just kind of talking about how you were kind of getting prepared to propel your run game to go against that Browns defensive line, and we saw you getting really hyped, getting really pumped after some of those run plays. Can you just kind of briefly talk about the energy it took to really get those first downs and really propel your team to a win?
Yeah, they got mad at me because I wasn't sliding today, but I had to feel like I was helping somehow. You know what I'm saying? With the weather, how it was, anything over 10 yards, your guess was as good as mine where that ball was going to end up, if I'm being honest. It was ridiculous. It rained, it sleeted, it snowed, it was snowing sideways. The wind was who knows what it was. And so, like I said before, Mr. Mack texted me this morning. He said, doesn't matter what it takes, just find a way to win. And so, to me, there was a couple times that, I could have sat in the pocket and tried to let something develop, but when it opened up, I just took off and, didn't have the privilege to slide a couple times because you had to get the first down, had to try, just like last week, had to try, right? And just thankful those plays worked out because I feel like whenever the quarterback does that, as a football fan, whenever the quarterback does that kind of stuff, it just pumps the whole sideline up, It just pumps the whole team up. Quarterback lowers his shoulder even if he's being an idiot. It just pumps the team up, and that's just – I've tried to jump over people. I try and run over people. I'm not the best at any of it, but I'll definitely try it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like those moments right there just ignite our sideline, And so if I can continue to do that, I may be a little bit more sore than usual, but whatever it takes to win, that's all I care about. Josh.
Derek, John said he made a big deal about the weather and the fact that you guys had struggled in some back there last year during the week. Do you think that sort of helped just guys embrace the challenge, the fact that front center for you guys that you hadn't played well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to I think we all agree, we've all probably made mistakes in our life, and the first thing you have to do is admit it, right? You have to admit, hey, I haven't been my best here, or I haven't been my best at this or that, for whatever reason. And this was opportunity for us to take what Coach was saying and really do something about it. And so I practice with 2 gloves on. I practice with no gloves on. I switched it up because the forecast was saying it might rain, it won't rain, it might snow, it might be windy, And so we just prepared, and that's what we do. We have our process of how to deal with those things and all that good stuff. I've never played a game with a right-hand glove on, did that, and then took it off when it stopped raining and then put it back on and then took it off, all this kind of stuff. And if you let that stuff get in your head, you'd be a head case, But at the end of the day, I think our mindset of this football team, and really for me too, Josh, is I just don't care. I just want to win. And so whatever it takes to win, we have to figure out how to do that. And we have a group of guys that when we admitted, hey, we haven't done it that well, we owned it in practice and we owned it today. So and owned it in a way that, hey, we're going to embrace it. You know what I mean?
Derek, your criticism coming off last week, but they seemed to really rallied this week and got the job done. From your vantage point, watching them, how satisfying was it for them to get an effort like they got today?
You said the defense, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was saying that the defense took some criticism this week.
Yep.
But they rallied together and they put a good performance out there. From your vantage point, how satisfying was it to see them get an effort like that today?
It's unbelievable. You know, I think the first thing Coach said when we got to the locker room, he said, how about that defense? You know what I mean? And we don't point fingers around here on our team. You know, obviously I've had struggles before. No one pointed fingers at me. You know, defense has struggles before. No one points fingers at them. We're a close-knit group, you know, and we always have been, really. We're close, and we try and stay that way, you know, because there's so much outside stuff that tries to tear you apart, you know, not only as football players, but as people, you know, whether you believe this way or believe that way, you think this or think that. People are always trying to tear apart, so we try and do our best to stay together no matter what, be a tight fist. Pat Hill always told me, you know, as long as you keep that fist closed, nothing can get in. And so I love Pat Hill for that. It really shows me that as I got to the NFL that no matter where the struggles are happening, you got to stay close and you got to stay like a fist. And then when that happens and there's success that happens, it feels better. There's just more joy. You know, you encourage those guys. You encourage somebody, just like I've been encouraged early in my career when I would have a struggle or something like that. Seawood would pull me aside and talk to me and encourage me, Justin Tuck, all those guys. And so to see the way that they played today, they won the football game for us, man. It was awesome.
Hey, Derek, how much does Coach Gruden enjoy these kind of games, just kind of grinded out kind of games?
Oh, yeah. You know he loves that. Now you know he loves when his plays and he can dial up all his cool stuff and I can check things and throw for 300 yards and all that kind of stuff. He loves that. But I really think he loves this more. You know what I mean? You know, that just the toughness, the grit, the attitude. I'm sure same thing. I'm sure Pat Hill will text me right here. His favorite play is power. You know what I mean? The power running game. You know, I'm sure I'll get a text from him about the power running game. But I think those two are the same guy, man. They love grinding them out like this, playing great defense, and running the ball at people. They love that stuff.
All right.
Derek, kind of along those same
Last
lines.
one.
I mean, what can you say about Josh? The way that he ran the ball, just, such a fierce running today. The way that he was able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Josh. You know, he's one of the best running backs in the NFL, and we have a lot of good players on our team, and Josh is one of them. You know, and the way he was able to run the ball really ignited us. And I joked around with him a little bit and told him I'm an honorary running back today. So we have 4 running backs out there today. But no, he's the man. He's awesome. Now I'll let y'all talk to Johnathan Abram. I'm sure you guys will be very interested by that, just like I am.
Yeah, right. And before y'all get started, before he leave, he gonna be humble about it. He one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Make sure y'all say that.
Thanks, guys.
How y'all doing today?
Questions, Zach?
Hey, John, how big was not Abram, you're Abram. How big was
I'm big.
Lamarcus
Hold on,
Joyner?
I'm big now. Hold on, don't do that.
How big was Lamarcus Joyner on that last drive for you guys?
Oh no, that's kind of what we talk about each week. Going into the week, knowing what routes that they gonna run. And we kind of knew what the plan was. We knew that they were gonna try to hit Landry, do double dig and stuff like that. So I feel like he was well prepared. I mean, we all were, which kind of showed today when we went out there and played.
Johnathan, you missed out last week because of COVID reserve, and that game was on your birthday. Can you just talk about how much it sucked to not play on your birthday? And
I don't even want. Honestly, I really don't want
one
to
day?
talk about it. I was really heartbroken. Honestly, I really wanted to go out there, and it's not even because it was my birthday. It was just the fact to go out there with my guys and to be able to fly around against a really good team at home. I was very disappointed.
Did you guys embrace the challenge that Gruden laid out for you to go out there in bad weather and compete and win?
I mean, the weather don't really matter. It don't matter where we go, where we at. We can show up on the concrete at 6 in the morning. We're going to be ready to play ball.
Anything else?
Derek said everybody before the game was really concerned about Trent. How did that not creep into your mind?
I mean,
at all
because
as you're
the one
preparing
thing,
for a
that's
game?
one of my closest friends. So, we talked about it pregame, We're going to go out here and we're going to get this W for him today. Because, I know the one thing is it sucks when you have a guy go down and you end up losing. So we made sure that we went out there today and we got this W for him.
Johnathan, just another quick question. Something that I noticed is Gruden said there's going to be some defensive changes, and I noticed that you were able to blitz a lot on the quarterback and get some really good pressure. Can you just talk about some of those blitzes and how you were able to really get after the quarterback?
Whenever PG calls my number, I just try to do the best of my ability, hitting the creases, making sure I'm low. Because we got different pressure. We have run pressure, we have pass pressure. So I was just trying to do my best, doing what I was coached to do.
Does this win do a lot for your guys' confidence, or is that not even an issue going into this game?
We didn't lose confidence last week, even with the loss. We don't really worry about the scoreboard. If we go out there and we play regular football, it doesn't really matter what the score is, because at the end of the day, we'll end up winning. And it's shown in the 4 weeks that we've done that.
All right. Thank you, Johnson.